You have exactly 3 seconds to like and subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, I'll appear in your dreams tonight. To ask for a donation for that cup of coffee, link below.
60. These are two numbers related to China and rare earths. 60% of China's rare earth mining output is the total global rare earth mining rate. The remaining 90% is the rare earth output that China processes out of the total global rare earth processing level. Just a minute. If the world exploits 100 tons of rare earths a year, China exploits up to 60 tons. If those 100 tons of rare earth are processed into high-tech products, China will also process up to 90 tons. For the global supply chain, these are truly huge numbers. Because if China, for any reason, cuts back on rare earth mining or processing, the world market will fall into a state of chaos. So, how did this country of billions of people dominate the global rare earth market? This is the periodic table of chemical elements. Let's look at the periodic table to better visualize the positions of rare earth elements. Rare earth is not a single element. It is a combination of many different chemical elements, starting from lanthanum atomic number 57 to lutetium atomic number 700. Yttrium and scandium are also considered rare earth elements because they have many similar chemical properties to the elements mentioned above. Thus, rare earths are a combination of 17 types of chemical elements that exist on the Earth's crust. Contrary to their name, rare earths are not rare. They exist scattered across the Earth's surface. Rare earths are divided into two types: heavy rare earths and light rare earths. You might find all these rare earth elements strange, but they actually exist all around you. Anytime, everywhere. From the phone you are using, until the car you're driving. And also state-of-the-art defense systems are equipped for national armies. Rare earths appear everywhere. With a total of 17 chemical elements, rare earths have many applications. But these elements are used to make semiconductor devices, microprocessors, clean energy or magnets, etc. Rare earths are also rare because the process of mining, extracting and producing them is extremely complicated. Not only that, they also cause great damage to the environment because the rare earth industry causes heavy pollution. It is for these reasons that many countries have now closed many rare earth mining factories, such as Japan or the United States. And this is the process to turn rare earth ores into high-tech finished products that we use every day. We can easily realize that the process of mining, extracting and producing rare earth ores includes many stages. During those stages, there need to be separate requirements to ensure the quality of the output product. For example, after mining, the ore obtained needs to contain from 0.8 to 1% rare earth oxides before it can be taken to the ore sorting stage. Not only that, adding difficulty to this extremely complex process is the advanced technology required to both extract high concentrations of rare earths and ensure environmental regulations. In other words, if you are poor, or you are not qualified, then you cannot participate in the rare earth playground. Rare earth is so difficult to deal with. So currently not every country is willing to invest in developing this industry domestically. In the 1960s, America dominated this playing field with an era that people call the Mountain Pass era, for one simple reason. The Mountain Pass rare earth mine in California, USA at that time mined the most rare earths in the world, and during its peak provided the world with nearly 45,000 tons. However, due to environmental reasons, the Mountain Pass mine was closed twice, and once in 2017. And guess what? When an empire collapses and leaves a power vacuum, who steps in to fill that void? That is An iron mine in China's Inner Mongolia Autonomous Region was discovered. That iron mine was named Bayan Oho. But it contains more than just iron. It was discovered that besides iron, Bayan Oho mine also contains many rare earth ores and has high mining value. In other words, the Chinese have hit a gold mine. At that time, the Bayan Oho mine was the mine with the world's largest rare earth reserves, estimated at about 36 million tons. Currently, the rare earth reserves that have been explored in China are 44 million tons. You heard right. 40 mil. This number accounts for 84% of the total estimated global rare earth reserves, and is double the country with the world's second largest rare earth reserves, Vietnam. Now let's return to the Bayan Oho mine. It was not until the 1950s that China was able to begin mining this mine. Initially, rare earth elements were still mined as byproducts of iron mining. This means that the rare earth products China obtained during this period were not of high quality. China gradually improved the quality of mined rare earth ores and began exporting them abroad. The world officially welcomes China into the rare earth market. Perhaps at that time, no one could have imagined that a country that was new to rare earth trading could become the dominant player in this market in the future. It is also important to note that just digging up rare earths does not mean knowing how valuable they are. In the 1950s, when China first began mining rare earth, the country was still stuck in the Korean War and efforts to improve the economy after a long period of World War and Civil War. Furthermore, the level of science and technology of the world and China does not yet allow this country to produce more advanced products from rare earths. That's why at the beginning, when China participated in the world rare earth market, this country only exported raw rare earth. Environmental regulations are left open. Cheap labor costs combined with the Chinese central government's export subsidy policy have helped make the price of China's rare earth exports cheap as cabbage. Some problems began to arise. Outside of China, countries that previously mined or processed large quantities of rare earths, such as the United States or Japan, began shutting down their mines and factories. Why do we have to continue to exploit and process rare earths and pollute the environment when we can buy them somewhere else at an affordable price? In Japan, rare earth processing enterprises have decided to close and transfer technologies and processing facilities to China in exchange for supply. These are the first bricks for the country of billions of people to master technology and gradually move to the development stage of rare earth processing. And inside China, a series of problems appear. Notably, rare earth smuggling activities and massive competition from companies. Rare earth is a lucrative fish in the lake called China. If you want to catch fish, you must cast the line into the lake. Both domestic and foreign businesses are flocking to this market to exploit and export rare earths. This competition, combined with smuggling, has pushed down China's rare earth prices further. We are making a profit. We can't let rare earth prices keep going down like this, China thinks. And rare earths are beginning to be brought under stricter control by the Chinese central government. The next stage in the development of China's rare earth industry was from the 1990s. In 1990, China declared rare earth to be a strategic minerals and should be protected. In 1992, Deng Xiaoping, who was considered China's supreme leader at that time, declared, "The Middle East has oil. China has rare earths." It was this quote from Deng Xiaoping that confirmed the fuller awareness of Chinese leaders at that time about the value of rare earths. Oil may still be an important resource for the world, but rare earths, especially those held by China, will eventually become just as important. And so, the Chinese central government began acquiring rare earths into its hands. The Chinese central government sets quotas for the production and export of rare earths and foreign investment capital. This means that Chinese companies can only produce and export volumes of rare earths that have been regulated by the state. At the same time, foreign businesses that want to invest in the Chinese rare earth market are also more limited. China has an agency called the Rare Earth Office. Any rare earth project coming from outside China's borders must be censored by this office. You refuse to cooperate in rare earth mining with the central government. Please go home. Even if you meet the above requirements, you will still be severely limited in all stages of the rare earth mining, extraction and production process. Are you wondering why? Because we have huge nationalized rare earth enterprises that we need to facilitate. That's right. State-owned enterprises are the extended arms of the Chinese central government. Delve into the rare earth industry and further increase the country's influence over this strategic resource. Before, China has 6 large nationalized rare earth corporations: North China Rare Earth Group, South China Rare Earth Group, Chinalco Rare Earth Group, Simon Tungsten, China Minmetals Rare Earth Group, and Guangdong Rare Earth Group. By 2021, China will merge 3 large corporations, Chinalco and Minmetals, to form a new corporation, China Rare Earth Group. This new corporation has contributed to strengthening China's power in the field of rare earths, with control 6% of rare earth mining activities in Chinese territory, of which 62% is heavy rare earth mining. These corporations own technology that is partly self-developed and partly transferred from foreign corporations. With advanced technology in hand, they can master all stages of the rare earth production process, from mining, extraction to manufacturing into high-tech products. This gives China a unique position in the entire rare earth production process. In addition, these corporations also have outside investment activities. You go to America, you will see Chinese capital poured into the rare earth industry here. You go to Greenland, you will also see the capital flow that China is pouring in to exploit rare earths. You go to Myanmar, and the same thing happens. Chinese rare earth corporations seem to be searching every corner of the earth to see which part they can jump in and prevent any potential competitors from appearing. But things don't stop there. Remember, China can also produce high-tech items from rare earths. This, combined with production quotas, means they need to import more rare earths from outside sources to meet their production needs. Since the country has also become the #1 consumer of rare earths. So, the Chinese guy alone did the most, but also ate the most. He sources his rare earth supplies from many different countries, such as Malaysia, India, Myanmar, among them. Myanmar is the country that exports the most rare earths to China. Thanks to the import of rare earths, China accounts for 90% of the total amount of rare earths processed globally. Now let's take a look at what the Chinese giant has in hand that has been able to dominate the global rare earth market. He has huge reserves of rare earths. He has a meticulously crafted policy system that closely follows market developments for more than 70 years, with a focus on increasing central control over rare earth resources. He has advanced technology to master all stages of the rare earth production process. He has large nationalized corporations that control the domestic rare earth market in his hands. And he is ready to create the best conditions for those children to reach out and acquire rare earth projects outside. In the end, he does the most, and also consumes the most. And so in today's world, no one can surpass him when discussing the rare earth story. And so, China suddenly has another weapon, an extremely powerful geopolitical card in its hand. In the context of clean energy, sustainable green development, along with the problem of improving the defense capacity of developed countries, the demand for rare earth and products related to it is higher than ever. This trend has made China realize that they are no different from being given a weapon that can cause other countries to stagger if the world or regional situation does not go to their liking. They really did. In September, China and Japan broke out in a dispute over the Diaoyu Island area, as China calls it, or Senkaku as it is known in Japan. At that time, China exported 66% of its rare earths to Japan because Japan needed rare earths for its economy. Understanding the above weakness, China did not hesitate to strike a fatal blow. In the final months of 2010, Japan had to maintain its economy in a state of severe rare earth supply shortage. China stopped exporting rare earths to Japan for 2 months. In just the blink of an eye, Japan lost about 82% of its rare earth supply. This is truly a matter of survival for Japan. Rare earth prices began to skyrocket, and they were forced to put money into finding alternative sources of supply. Luckily, they escaped that situation without causing too much damage to the economy. Currently, the Japanese government is investing in Lynas Company in Australia to ensure its rare earth supply after the 2010 incident with China. Not only, but the US and Western allies are also racing to find alternative sources of rare earths to avoid negative dependence on China. Especially, China issued a ban on the export of rare earth extraction technology on the grounds of national security. However, many scholars believe that China's ban will cause countries that rely heavily on the extraction and production of rare earth products in this billion-people country to suffer even more. We cannot leave the fate of the economy to China. Other countries must act. They have two directions. Or promote domestic production by investing in new projects and restarting old projects. But the word environment still gives these countries a headache. Or look for rare earth supplies from outside. Why do we have to focus on China when there are many other countries with abundant rare earth reserves? There are countries that only do it one way. For example, Japan and Korea are both aggressively diversifying their supply sources. These are all countries poor in rare earth resources. But there are also countries that combine both ways. For example, America. There are countries that only do it one way. For example, Japan and Korea are both aggressively diversifying their supply sources. These are all countries poor in rare earth resources. But there are also countries that combine both ways. For example, America. The U.S. Department of Defense has just allocated $35 million USD to MP Material Group to restart the rare earth mining project at the Mountain Pass mine. The special thing here is that, with this investment, the U.S. wants to establish the first heavy rare earth extraction and processing center in the entire United States. This is a move that demonstrates America's determination to be extremely self-reliant in the face of China's rare earth monopoly. The U.S. also contributes investment capital to foreign corporations, specifically Lynas Company in Australia, as well as expands the search for other rare earth sources. One of the reliable addresses that the U.S. knocked on the door to inquire about was Vietnam. Obviously, because Vietnam has 22 million tons of rare earth reserves. And this is also a country that has good relations with the U.S. Then U.S. President Joe Biden visited Vietnam. During this visit, the two countries agreed to upgrade their relationship to a comprehensive strategic partnership. Rare earths are of course included on the agenda of both sides. In a memorandum of understanding signed between the two countries, it was emphasized enhanced technical cooperation to support Vietnam's efforts to ensure the quality of rare earth resources and economic potential, attract quality investment sources for the development of rare earth-related fields, as well as meet high environmental, social and management standards, amid the chaos caused by China's rare earth monopoly. Vietnam is seeing a bright spot to boost its economy. Thus, without war or nuclear weapons, China can make the world's leading economic powers think hard about how to respond. China's monopoly will certainly be maintained for many years to come because the efforts this country has put in to reach its current position are not small. The global supply chain will certainly witness more panning for gold by countries hungry for rare earth supplies. And what can Vietnam, a developing country with extremely abundant rare earth resources, do to capture the open opportunities from this chaos in the rare earth market?